Hey homeschoolers, hope everybody are doing good. And in this video, I am going to cover you the SSLC board preparatory question paper. Okay, I'm going to solve this preparatory question paper. Already physics part is over. Please check it out the previous video. And in this video, I'm going to cover complete chemistry and complete biology. And don't forget to share your opinion about the level of question paper, whether it is easy, medium or difficult. Okay, and you can also share the type of answers you have written for a particular question. Okay, and if it has gone wrong, and you can also share why it has gone wrong. Okay, so in which topic you lack a clarity, everything you can share in the comments, and you can ask me the doubts also on a particular concept. We will try to answer them. So watch the video till the end, because not just the answers, I'll be discussing the concept around a particular question. So coming back to the 14th question, so chemistry part will start from 14th question onwards. 1 to 13 covers under physics part, and here a 14th question is very simple, and frequently I keep telling students that this type of questions is very common from the chapter chemical reactions and equations. Okay, so they'll give a chemical equation and they will ask you which is reduced and which is oxidized, right? So this is the chemical reaction they have given this year, when they are asking which is reduced. Okay, so you have to carefully select the answer. Your answer is always between the reactants, so nothing is there to do with the product, guys. So you will have two reactants now. So you will have to decide among the two reactants, one is reduced and the other one will be oxidized. Okay, so they are asking which is reduced. So just look at this conversion, CuO converted to Cu. That means you see the difference between CuO and the product Cu. Oxygen has got removed. Removal of oxygen is called reduction. So which is reduced here? CuO is reduced. That is option C is the correct answer. Okay, so if CuO is reduced, which one does have oxidized? Definitely H2. Okay, so few students will select the answer between the products. No, nothing is there to do with the products. It's always among the reactants only. Okay, if this fellow is reduced, then the other one must have undergone oxidation. Okay, so this is how you select the option. Fine. Now question number 15 is very simple. They are asking you the structure of benzene. They have given 4 structures here. So you have to select which is the correct structure of benzene, and definitely option D is going to be a correct structure of benzene, right? So it will have 3 double bond. At every carbon you have 1 hydrogen. Right, so this is our benzene with the molecular formula C6H6, right? Very simple question. Now coming to question number 16, it is a 1 marker question. They are asking you the definition of modern periodic law. Very simple, right? So physical and chemical properties are periodic functions of their atomic number, right? So two definitions are very important to remember. One is modern periodic law, the other one is Mendeleev's periodic law. Mendeleev's periodic law says physical chemical properties depend on, instead of depend on, you use a term periodic functions. Okay, so physical chemical properties are periodic functions of their atomic mass. Okay, that was Mendeleev's, and here it is modern. So only one word difference you will have between Mendeleev and modern, that is here atomic number, there atomic mass comes at the end. Okay, so here it is physical chemical properties are periodic functions of their atomic number, right? Over. So now 17th question is also very simple question. They have given 2 solutions. Solution X is magnesium hydroxide whereas solution Y is acetic acid, CH3COOH. Okay, and they have given you red and blue litmus papers to you. What will happen to red and blue litmus paper when dipped into X solution? And what will happen to red and blue litmus paper when dipped into Y solution? Okay, so what will happen? Let us write. We know magnesium hydroxide is base. Okay, because it is a base, if you dip blue litmus paper into base, blue remains blue only. But if you dip red litmus paper into this base, red gets converted into blue. B for base, B for blue. No matter which colored litmus paper you are dipping, B for base, B for blue. This is the short trick, remember? Okay, so always to a base, blue if you dip, blue remains blue. Red if you dip, red becomes blue. Okay, so now we know acetic acid is acid. So in acid, if you dip blue litmus paper, it gets converted to red. If you dip red litmus paper, it remains red itself. Acid, dangerous. Color for indicating danger is red. That way you remember. No matter which color litmus paper you are dipping, the color becomes red in color when you dip it in acid. Okay, so that is all about our 17th question. Now coming back to 18th question. This is also very simple question. They have given some third period elements they have given. They have listed third period elements: sodium, magnesium, right, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus and chlorine. Okay, sulfur and chlorine, right? Sulfur and chlorine. Yes, all these are that third period elements. They are asking you, among them, which element has larger size? Okay, and which element has smaller size, and why? So they are asking you why. The reason also they are asking, you have to mention the reason. So we know that elements that come in a first group are larger. As you go from left to right, our atomic size decreases. So which is that atom which is larger in radius, larger in size? Definitely larger size is sodium. Smaller one is this fellow, chlorine, right? So why sodium is larger in size, you have to mention? Because you know the number of shells are more, or the nuclear charge, effective nuclear charge is less. Mention this way: three shells with less effective nuclear charge, less effective nuclear charge. Okay, so now chlorine, why it is smaller as compared to sodium? Because this has got more effective nuclear charge. That's it, more effective nuclear charge. So that's all. So that is all about the question. So this is actually a 2-mark question, and here you also have a OR question. So let us discuss this OR question also. How does the metallic property vary in the elements that belong to same group in modern periodic table? Give reason for this change. Okay, say suppose if I take a first group elements, you will have lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, isn't it? So what will happen to a metallic nature in a group? I mean, when you go from top to bottom in a group, the metallic nature increases, right? So MC means metallic character. Metallic increases, right? Because atomic size increases, right, from top to bottom, So this can be the answer you can write. Okay, so metallic character is directly proportional to atomic size. If atomic size increases from top to bottom, yes, metallic nature also increases. Okay, so that is the answer for our question. And now let us discuss the 19th question, which are 3 marker questions. So here they are asking you, name the electrolytic solution used in the refining of copper. Very simple. So there are 2 questions, question A and question B. So refining of copper we all have studied in metals, non-metals chapter, right? So pure rod is taken as cathode, impure rod is taken as anode, right? And both are dipped in electrolytic solution. They are asking which is that electrolyte. Definitely it is a copper salt solution, that is copper sulfate solution. Okay, so copper sulfate solution is the electrolyte. And B question, list the methods of preventing corrosion of metals. You can mention all the methods like painting, you can mention, right? Galvanization you can mention, chrome plating you can mention, all the methods you can mention. Oiling or greasing you mention, right? Anodizing you can mention. So it's a pretty simple question. So that is all about 19th question. And now coming back to the question number 20. So there are 3 equations where you have to balance them. Okay, so Fe3O4 plus H2. So this is one equation. How do you balance? First balance metal, which is a metal ion. So 3Fe. So 3 we have put. Later, oxygens you see. 4 oxygens are there. Here only 1. So directly I'll put 4. So now hydrogens. 4 2s are 8. Here only 2. So here I'll put 4. So this is the balanced equation. Now second one is like the formation of water, that is H2 plus O2 giving H2O. So definitely 2 oxygens here, only 1, so I'll put 2. Now hydrogens becomes 4, here only 2, so we will put 2 there. And the last one is like combustion of methane, CH4 plus O2 will always give you carbon dioxide and water. So how do you balance this? See, 4 hydrogens are there, here only 2, so let me put 2. Now it becomes like 1 carbon already. And count the oxygens, 2 oxygens, and here 2 plus 2 4, so I should put 2 to balance. So these are the 3 balanced equations. Okay, and there is a OR question for this. Write the balanced chemical equations for the following. Silver chloride gives silver and chlorine in the presence of sunlight. Yes, so that is a photochemical decomposition. Silver chloride in presence of sunlight, it will break down to silver and chlorine. So you have to balance. So you will put 2 here and here 2. Next, sodium sulfate and barium chloride react. Write the formula. Sodium sulfate Na2SO4 plus barium chloride BaCl2. So both are reacting to give barium sulfate and sodium chloride. So barium sulfate BaSO4 and sodium chloride NaCl. So this is our double decomposition reaction where barium sulfate is formed as white PPT, isn't it? So how do you balance this? See here, 1 barium, 2 sodium, here only 1, so I will put 2, right? Sulfate, there is 1 sulfate group, here also 1 sulfate group over. And now chlorine, 2 chlorines, 2 chlorines, this 2 belongs to this Cl also, 2 chlorines. So now it is a balanced equation. So that is all about this 20th question. So coming to 21st question is a diagram. Draw the diagram of arrangement of apparatus to show the action of steam on metal. Yes, in the metals and non-metals, this is a very famous and very important diagram. Many times it was asked in the previous year. So concentrate this diagram properly. Try to practice. Now directly I will go for 4 marker question, that is 22nd question A. 22nd question is the only 4 marker question here. So A question. pH values are given, guys. So there are 4 solutions, K, L, M and N. So where K has pH 5, L has 13, okay, M has 9 and N has pH 3. Okay, they are asking which of these solution is having maximum hydrogen ions. Maximum hydrogen ions in the sense more acidic, right? maximum H plus ions in the sense that particular solution is more acidic. For being more acidic, pH has to be below 7. Lesser the pH, more is the acidic nature. So which is the least number? This one. So this N has got maximum H plus ions. Okay. Yes. Over. Now which of the ion has got maximum hydroxide ion? Which is the highest number? 13. L. That means more basic. So this guy is more basic. More basic means what? It will have more OH minus ions. Right? So N has got maximum H plus ion. L has got maximum OH minus ions. So that is the answer. Now let us go for B question. This you will have to think little. Okay. A saturated solution P. See, always this kind of question, no? Question itself you put it as a flow chart so that answer can be obtained very easily. Okay, so let me put the question itself as a flow chart now, okay, to get the answer. A saturated solution P. So there is a solution P. So this was subjected to electrolysis. I mean, they have done electrolysis process for this P. Okay, so after doing electrolysis process, there liberated a gas. Okay, so there was a gas liberated which is Q, okay, at anode. So this Q was liberated at anode here. This Q was liberated at anode. Okay, and this Q is passed through a basic solution R. Again this has passed to R. About R what they are telling? They are telling that it is basic in nature. Okay, and you know, when Q is passed through basic solution, I mean these two fellows when they react, okay, these two fellows when they react, you are getting S, and S is a bleaching salt, and S is a bleaching salt. Okay, so this is the question. They are asking what is Q, Q, R and S. Okay, so they are asking write the chemical formula of P, Q, R and S. So now looking at this flow chart, okay, so I can, if you clearly know the concept, it is very easy guys. See, bleaching salt in the sense bleaching powder. What is that? CaOCl2. That means S is CaOCl2. So now this bleaching powder is prepared from calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide is base and you have to pass chlorine gas, isn't it? So chlorine gas, when you pass through calcium hydroxide, bleaching powder is formed. So Q is chlorine gas, R is calcium hydroxide, S is bleaching. And they said that when does this Q is formed? When P undergoes electrolysis. Brine solution when undergoes electrolysis, chlorine, hydrogen and sodium hydroxide is formed, no? So what is our P? Our P is NaCl solution. Okay, so P is NaCl, Q is Cl2, R is calcium hydroxide and S is bleaching powder. So simple. See, if you do not know the concept, like you are confused to get answer like this. So just imagine guys, this A question is from acid, bases and salt chapter, right? B question is also from the same chapter. They won't give it from the other chapter. Okay, A and B is always from the same chapter. So in the acid, bases and salts, they clearly said a point that this substance undergone electrolysis. So there is, in this chapter, you studied the preparation called chloralkali process, where alkali, that is NaOH, is prepared by the electrolysis of NaCl. Electrolysis reaction is only this reaction which is there in a chapter, right? So that way also you can think and get the answer. Okay, so electrolysis, they said at anode some gas is formed, they told. That means it is definitely about a chloralkali process. So definitely P must be NaCl, gas formed at anode must be Cl2. So easily you can get P and Q. So now they are telling chlorine when passed to base you are getting bleaching salt. So this is very easy to guess. The base must be calcium hydroxide and the bleaching salt is nothing but bleaching powder, calcium oxychloride. Okay, so this way there are so many ways, multiple ways to get the answer. Which way is suitable for you, that way you can follow and get the answer. Okay, so when A is from one chapter, B also will be from the same chapter. When they said electrolysis, gas at anode, so such electrolysis reaction is only one in the entire chapter, that is chloralkali process. So immediately it should click in your mind that okay, so this part is all about chloralkali process they are asking. So that way also you can get the answer. Okay, so that is all about the fourth question. The 22nd question, which is a 4 mark. Now we will move on to the last question of chemistry, that is 23rd question, which they gave it for 5 markers. It's a 5 marker question. Okay. 5 marker question. Yeah. Let us discuss 23rd question. Methanol is the first member of homologous series. Yes. Write the names and molecular formulae of second and third member. So methanol is what? CH3OH, isn't it? So what is its molecular formula? C, and total hydrogens are 4 and O. Ethanol, what is ethanol? CH3, one more CH2 is extra, OH. So that means 2 carbons. Okay, so how many hydrogens? 6 hydrogens and O. So next one is propanol. So propanol, right? So you no need to write the elaborate formula, directly you write. So C3H8O. So CH2, difference of CH2 has to be there between first and second member and second and third member. Okay, so methanol, ethanol, propanol. You can write the names also. Instead of writing like this, you can write ethanol. Okay, methanol formula you take. Then to ethanol, what will be the difference? Only 1 carbon extra you will have in ethanol and 2 hydrogens extra. Okay, between ethanol and propanol, what is the difference? Again CH2 of difference you would be there. Okay, so very simple question. Now coming to question B. Which one of the carbon compounds having molecular formula C2H4, C2H6 can undergo addition reaction? Explain this reaction with suitable equation. Okay, see, C2H4 is ethene, C2H6 is ethane. So we know unsaturated compounds only can undergo addition reaction, isn't it? So unsaturated, ethene is unsaturated hydrocarbon, so it can only undergo addition reaction. Okay, right? Fine. And explain this reaction with suitable. So one example you write, C double bond C, H, 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 H. So you give addition reaction example. When you add hydrogen in presence of the catalyst nickel, you will get what? You will get CH3, CH3. So saturated hydrocarbon you will get, that is ethane you will get. One H added to one carbon, another H added to another carbon, double bond becomes single bond. So that is ethane. Okay, right? So that is all about this B question. So with this we have completed chemistry part and now we will go for biology. So I think you all feel biology part more easier in this paper, right, as compared to physics and chemistry. So let us discuss the biology part questions one by one. So from 24th question onwards, bio part is getting started. So there are 4 multiple choice questions. So let's discuss them. Products formed in a muscle cell by the respiration carried out in the lack of oxygen. So they are asking, so in the human muscle cell, so when there is no oxygen, how does the respiration happen? I mean, what products are formed? Definitely lactic acid is the product formed in the human muscle cell without the presence of oxygen. Lactic acid and of course energy. So this is the answer which is there as C option. So option C is correct answer. And coming to 25th question, it's also pretty simple question. Homologous organs means, homo means what? Same, right? Same structure. Homologous organs are nothing but same structure. If the structure is same, what is different? Function is different. Different function. Same structure, different function. Okay, so this is the definition of homologous organ, where it is getting matched. Option A, organs that are similar in structure but different in function. So option A itself is a correct answer. Okay. Now coming to 26th question. The process of transpiration in the plant body. So what is the use of transpiration in the plant body, they are asking. 4 options are given. Option A, balances the amount of oxygen and water. No. Transpiration is all about pulling water from bottom to up to create that water column to come from bottom to top, isn't it? So B option you see, helps to create a column of water in xylem tissue, right? So this is our answer, right? So you can go for option B. Now coming to 27th question, guys, very much conceptual but very simple question. You have to properly read the question. A sexually reproducing animal has 39 pairs of chromosomes. Okay, so there is some organism which has got 39 pairs of chromosomes. Then the number of chromosomes in the zygote of this animal. Okay, so it's a sexually reproducing animal. So definitely zygote is formed. So when gametes combine, okay, when male gamete and female gamete combines, zygote is formed. How many chromosomes does zygote will form? Zygote is a single cell of the same organism. Every cell must have the same number of chromosomes, isn't it? So 39 itself is the answer, which is our option A. Okay, many of them think that, okay, half the number of chromosomes or double the number of chromosomes. You know, that's a wrong answer. Gamete will have half the number of chromosomes, right? But the zygote definitely should have the complete number of chromosomes, right? So 39 pairs of chromosomes the zygote should have. Only then this zygote can develop as that particular animal. Okay, fine. Now 28th question, it's a diagram based question but very simple question. There is a figure A and figure B, hearts of higher animals. Which of these heart structures help for the production of more energy and why? See, to produce more energy, double circulation is necessary. Okay, double circulation is the circulation where oxygenated blood is separated from deoxygenated blood for high energy needs. So double circulation is observed only if the heart is 4-chambered heart, right? Only if the heart is 4-chambered heart. So the given diagram, okay, so I think you all have the question paper, but then I am showing you the diagram here towards the camera. In the given diagram, the double chambered heart is figure B. Okay, so figure B has got a double chambered heart, so that double circulation can take place. Double circulation, what is double circulation? If you want, you can write the definition also here. Okay, so that you will get a complete 2 marker. Okay. Next, question number 39, right? All these are 1 marker question actually. Sexual reproduction results more variation in the offsprings. Why? Because in the sexual reproduction, DNA copying takes place, and during DNA copying, errors, minute errors can happen. Those errors actually lead to lot of variations. Okay, so what is your answers? It is due to errors in DNA copying. Errors in DNA copying. Okay. 30th question is also a 1 marker question. What is the function of adrenaline hormone? Adrenaline hormone, okay, so it will take care of emergency situations. Emergency situations. Okay, during emergency situations, adrenaline is released into a blood so that more oxygen supply happens to muscle cells. So that's why it is also called as fright and flight hormone, isn't it? So when more oxygen supply happens to muscle, our legs can run faster than normal, so that we get protected from emergency situations. Yes or no? Fine. 31st question, they are asking you the definition of pollination. Pollination is transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of the flower. Okay. In same flower, if this happens, it is a self-pollination. In different flowers, if this is happening, it is a cross-pollination. Anyway, they are just asking you the definition. So what you can write? Transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of flower. Okay. 32nd question is a diagram. From 32nd question onwards, the 2 marker questions are getting started, and it's a diagram of human excretory system. Okay, so you have to practice all the diagrams from life processes. All are very, very important. So almost around 4 to 5 marks can be asked on diagrams from this chapter alone usually. Okay, so careful with all the diagrams. So now let me discuss 33rd question here. Who are the stakeholders of the forest? They are just asking who are the stakeholders. Local people, right? So local people who live in and around the forest are stakeholders, and government officials, that is forest department who owns the forest land are the stakeholders of the forest, who has to take care and protect the forest. And the third point, you can mention the industrialist. For their raw material, they depend on forest, so it is their duty also to protect and conserve the forest. And lastly, wildlife enthusiast, right? Wildlife enthusiast. Okay, so these people, under wildlife enthusiast, you, me, everybody else will come. It is everybody's right to protect and safeguard the forest. Okay, so these are the 4 stakeholders of forest. And there is a OR question here. What does it says? List any 4 eco-friendly measures that can be taken to reduce the impact of using fossil fuels on the environment. See, because of the fossil fuels, electricity is produced. If you can minimize the usage of electricity, it's like you can minimize the usage of fossil fuels. So which are the 4 things that you can do to minimize the usage of electricity, right? See, the first point is switch off the lights. Switch off the lights and fans when it is unnecessary. Okay, lights and fans at houses. Okay, so when you are not using. And take a public transport, right? Petrol and diesel also you will get from fossil fuels only. So if you are taking a public transport instead of individual vehicles, so that vehicle usage can be decreased, so that fossil fuels usage also can be decreased. Okay, and use steps instead of lift, isn't it? So when you have to climb only for 2 stairs or 1 stair, instead of lift you can take a steps. Okay, climb the steps and reach your destination. That is one way. And 4th point, what else you can write is minimum usage. Okay, so minimum usage of electric gadgets. Or you can also write increase the options of using solar. Okay, so solar cells or solar solar energy or wind energy related things you can use instead of electricity dependent gadgets. Okay, so these are the 4 points you can write as the answer. Now coming to 34th question, here again a diagram showing the structure of neuron and label the axon. What factors could lead to the rise of new species? So they are asking you reasons for speciation. So what are the reasons for speciation? It can be a natural selection. Natural selection, you no need to explain, it is only mentioned. They have asked you to mention that self. That's it. Okay. So if you want, you can explain also, no problem. So natural selection is one thing. Second one, genetic drift. Genetic drift you can mention. And third one, gene flow you can mention. Gene flow. Fourth one, geographical isolation. Geographical isolation. Yes, 4 factors if you can mention, it is more than enough. Then B question is, the experience gained by an organism cannot be transferred to the organisms of next generation. Why? Because experience gained by an organism during lifetime is acquired trait. So that is a acquired trait. So acquired traits cannot be passed on to next generation because acquired traits do not involve genes. Right? So they do not involve genes. That is the reason they are not passed to the next generations. And coming to 37th question. Okay, so this is also a 3-marker question. Vegetative type of reproduction is a boon to farmers. Why? So they are asking you the advantages of vegetative propagation, guys. Advantages. So what are the advantages here? You know, you will get early seeds and flowers. Okay. And you will get disease-free seeds. Disease-free seeds you can get, right? And you can also, produce or cultivate the commercial crops. Commercial crops, okay, can be grown which does not produce any seeds. Which do not produce any seeds like jasmine, okay, rose and all these things. So these are the 3 points you can mention. Okay. Or there is a OR question. Let me discuss this OR question also. How are position of testis and the function of uterus complementary to each other in human reproduction? Explain. See, position of testis and function of uterus. Function of uterus. So just their functions are, why the testis is located outside, that you mention, that can be an answer here. Okay. So let me write the answer in a shortcut way. Position of testis. Why testis is placed outside the body, like in the abdominal cavity, is because the testis needs less temperature to produce sperms. Okay, to produce sperms. So the body temperature has to be at least 2 to 3 degrees lesser than the normal body temperature to produce the sperms. That is the reason testis is located outside in the abdominal cavity. Whereas the function of uterus. So uterus prepares itself every month. To hold embryo after fertilization, and embryo must grow in a suitable environment at proper body temperature. Okay, so here uterus provides that proper environment, okay, for embryo or fetus, anything you can write. Okay, so this can be a answer. Now coming to a last question. Okay, so that is 38th question is from control and coordination chapter. See, they have asked you a theory question here instead of a diagram. Okay, see, how are cerebrum, cerebellum and medulla of the brain control and coordinate in our body? That means they are asking you the function of cerebrum, cerebellum and medulla. Okay, so they are asking you the function. So two functions you can mention about each part. Okay, say cerebrum. Cerebrum is the main coordinating part, isn't it? So this controls all voluntary actions. This controls all voluntary actions, and this is a seat of memory, right? Intelligence and all auditory, visionary activities and everything is controlled by cerebrum. Okay, so this is the major part of the brain actually, right? And now coming to a cerebellum, right? Cerebellum is nothing but that tree-shaped structure, right? So here cerebellum's main function is it balances body posture. It balances controls the posture and body balance. Okay, so these are the two things you can mention as the function of cerebellum. And whereas medulla, it can control the involuntary actions, right? It will control involuntary actions like sneezing, right? Vomiting, digestion, respiration, and all of them can be controlled by medulla, right? So this is all about the paper, guys. So I have solved each and every question of this question paper, and if you had made any mistakes in any of the question, you can share in the comment section why you made that mistake, or if you lack a clarity on any of the concept, you just mention the comment section so that I will help you out in such concepts, okay, in the coming days, right? So thank you guys, all the best, keep learning and share this video to as many friends as possible, because the more you share, so the more things you get to learn. Okay, so thank you so much and all the best for your